Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for being here with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I don't know. I'm just starting to set in that it may be over. And it's not. It isn't over yet. President Trump could still win this election. It just doesn't look likely. The two states, in fact, Fox News has already called it for one, and they called it pretty early. CNN still has not called Arizona. Fox already has. That's why the count, when you look at Fox News, is 264 to 214 in electoral votes because they include Arizona. If you look at CNN, their map shows 253 to 213. So they've not called Arizona for Joe Biden. Interesting.
Why do you think that is?
I think Fox is pissed off at him for he's been slamming them a little bit. He came on election day and slammed them right to their face. They might be a little pissed off that he's probably going to start his own cable news operation after he's done. I don't know. So maybe that factors in. I don't know. They've been in the bag for him the whole time. Now all of a sudden, you don't want him as president anymore? So I don't know. It might be some little anger issue there.
Yeah, and numbers are still coming in overnight from Arizona, and Trump is closing the gap. I don't know that he will close it completely, but there's a lot of outstanding votes. They are trending in the right direction for President Trump.
By all that is holy.
And it would seem...
Let him get Arizona. That would be great.
It would seem...
Let him have Arizona, please.
A normal universe and a normal realm that's a reason to not call a state already.
If he can hang on to Arizona, if he can win Arizona, hang on to Pennsylvania, and Georgia, North Carolina, he wins.
Where he is leading, by the way.
He is leading in those three. In Pennsylvania, still leading, hanging on by a thread. It's like 1.5 now. He's got a lead in North Carolina, and he has a really slim margin in Georgia.
Well, in Pennsylvania, though, you had the Attorney General on Election Day say if you're having trouble voting with your ballot or something like that, he posted on Twitter a phone number, and it was to call like Pennsylvania Democrats to come and help out.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and then somebody found an old tweet from the Secretary of State in Pennsylvania where back in 2017, she had posted on Twitter, using the title president before the word Trump really demeans the office of the presidency. So at least he's got some, officials up there in Pennsylvania running the show.
Yeah, really pulling for him.
That are just right down the middle.
Neutral,
obviously.
Sure.
Yeah. But these states that are still outstanding, I know Nevada and Georgia are doing this thing where they call curing ballots, where they go door to door. And this is why you have volunteers going out right now in those states saying, hey, your ballot got rejected. Let's help you out here. Mm-hmm. So, and that, that's going to help Biden.
Oh, of course.
And
of course. Yeah. I love the left-wing Drudge Report, too. More people vote for Biden than anyone in history. First of all, big deal if that's true. It's hard to believe it is, but I mean, yeah, there's more people who are alive and registered to vote than at any other time in history. So both Trump and Biden are going to have more votes than anybody else has ever had.
Yeah.
Both of them will at the end of this election. I can almost guarantee that. Plus, the turnout's really high.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy can't draw a crowd over 5 at a parking lot. And he's got the most votes in history?
72 million.
Come on.
He's about to break, which is more than Obama's 69 million in 2008.
Jeez.
Which, I'm sorry, I find that hard to believe.
I do too.
That those are legitimate votes for this guy.
And plus, Trump is at 68 million something right now, and so he could pass Obama as well. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. But where are all these Biden voters coming from? I mean, they're essentially voting for a vegetable right now. The guy doesn't even know his own name. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know his grandchildren. He doesn't know who he's married to half the time. If he wins, Rather than playing Hail to the Chief, I think they should play the VeggieTales theme when he shows up for events. Because he's a vegetable. Mm-hmm. The first vegetable president we've ever had. Just a little anger talking there right now because I'm fed up with this.
So you've lost hope.
Not completely, but it looks bleak right now. It looks bad. Maybe somebody can speak comfort to me. Somebody who's optimistic. Maybe we'll 888-900-3393.
Yeah, I'm angry.
If you're optimistic, I'd love to hear from you this morning.
So just don't look to me.
You're not optimistic either?
I'm not optimistic. I haven't given up, but I'm more angry than in despair.
Me too.
Because I just don't trust this system. And when an American citizen has that mindset, that's bad.
I guess I've got despair and anger. I'm dispangered right now.
Yes.
I'm dispangered.
That's what I'm going to go with that. Absolutely. I'm right there with you. Dispangered. I'm dispangry. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Just it's not a good feeling. Let's put it that way.
It's really not.
And we have to answer your question, where are all of the votes for Biden coming from? Well, they're coming from 6 feet in the ground.
A lot of them are coming from dead
evidence,
people.
Yeah.
That is true. For instance, 7 Milwaukee voting wards have more votes than registered voters in them. 7 City of Milwaukee voting wards reported more 2020 presidential election votes than they had registered voters. Is that a problem for you? What are you going to do about that? It can't happen. So how did it? 5 of them are in the city's 11th aldermanic ward on the city's far southwest side. Vice President Biden carried the 5 in 2020 with 3,768 votes to President Trump's 2,883, margin of 885, or 8 times what it was in 2016. Okay. I like this. They actually show the voting ward and how many registered voters, and then the total of voters. So in Ward 274, for instance, there are 640 registered voters. 1,290 people voted. Problem? Nah, don't worry about it. Just an enthusiastic turnout from the dead, I guess, or illegal aliens, or somebody who wasn't registered. In Ward 273, there were 634 registered voters. 1,272 voted. That's a 201% turnout, a 202% turnout in the 274th Ward. 202% of the voters turned out.
So you're
that's not possible.
Disagreeing with that?
A little bit. Okay. A little bit. A little lighter turnout in voting Ward 272. There's 1,123 registered voters. 1,405 of them voted. That's 125% turnout. 117% turnout in Ward 277. 115% in 269. 108% in 234. 101% in 312. And exactly 100% in Ward 326. So they're enthusiastic in those wards in Milwaukee. They're ready to get out and vote, whether they've registered or not, whether they're alive or not. I don't know. Whether they're citizens or not. Who knows? Why even look into it? Whatever, it's fine. So 202% of the people in this district voted. Your point? Apparently there isn't one.
Yeah, because I'm not good at math, so I'm not the one to tackle that problem that you just posed. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't sound like it adds up.
No, it kind of doesn't. Then there's some really, really elderly voters as well.
Oh, wow, that's good, right?
Especially turning up in Michigan. Yeah, you want them to be active, right? You want them to get out and vote.
You should always
did it safely.
Part of the process, right?
Yeah, you want them to be part of it. They've got a lot of wisdom built up over the years. There were 4 voters in Michigan the other night who were born before 1902.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So, for instance, there were 4 of them who were exactly 120 years old. They were born in 1900 and are 120 now.
Okay. That's. I mean, that's pretty cool that they're still out there part of the process.
One of them is 118. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 of them are 120.
Okay.
One of them's 118. Okay. One of them's 119.
Okay.
And then one of them is 170 years old. So
170?
Born in 1850, year of our Lord, 1850. And got out and voted. Daniel Jason Lemoyne.
Okay.
Got out and voted.
Mm-hmm.
He voted for, I'm sure, Joe Biden at 170 years old. Good for him.
Wow,
congratulations.
That is
just a spry
that is,
170.
He was the first time he was eligible to vote. He cast his first vote for Ulysses S. Grant, I guess. Correct?
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay, well, so he's been he's been active for a while.
I think the voting age then was 21. So let's see. Would that have been Grant, or would that have been afterwards?
Yes, Grant, right?
Yeah.
68, 72. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, let's
let's
break out the numbers on this guy's voting record.
Crazy. Jeez. So anyway, 170-year-old man got out and voted. You got to be proud of that.
And really, you have no excuse for your own situation if you're like, I'm not going to get out and vote.
I don't feel good today. Yeah. This guy's 170 years old and he got to the polls.
Right?
Come on.
No excuses. You think he got an I voted sticker?
I hope so.
170-year-old guy walking home.
He sure deserved one.
He probably put it on his. What do you think a 170-year-old guy is wearing these days?
Jammies. Probably his jammies.
Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of the families was contacted, and the ballot was tossed because I think they found out the person involved. I'm not sure which, it doesn't say, but probably dead, and so they threw out the ballot.
Well, again, but we can't confirm. We're going with
though.
Probably dead.
Yes, we don't know
probably
for a fact.
Dead. Yeah, and what state was that in?
That was in Michigan.
Oh,
yeah, yesterday, President Trump entered the morning, 300,000 votes ahead. And by about noon, it was gone, and he was declared a loser in Michigan. Huh. Wow. Biden made up a lot of territory very, very quickly. So I don't know if this is all about shenanigans. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
No, we've got a tweet actually from Fleckus about someone registered to vote in Michigan. Went through the whole process there. See, look there, right there on the screen. There, he looked up this William Bradley guy, born in 1902. Might be one of the guys you were just talking about.
Possibly. Yeah.
So yeah, look at that.
Right there.
Look at that. You're registered. Okay, so then they send the ballot. Mm-hmm. It's received, and the process, everything's going along great, and your vote counts. Oh, by the way, you're dead. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's the proof. Okay, so he died in 1984, and yet he voted.
Well, okay, we've only had 36 years to figure that out, though, so maybe they haven't had a chance to.
Government can be slow.
That death yet.
There's a lot of red tape and trying to get your name.
You expect him to already have that registered as a death? And have a death certificate involved when it's only been 36 years?
You may want to look up to see if your deceased relatives are registered to vote. And
you might.
And if they voted in
I wonder if my mom and dad voted this time. That's possible.
Yeah,
Except they would have voted Republican, so it's highly unlikely. Mm-hmm. Highly. It seems to be an issue with Democrats, doesn't it?
Yeah, walk us through. What are you thinking? What are you talking about here?
I'm just saying. The Democrats have a long record of dead people voting.
So can we
of illegal immigrants voting?
So can we revisit a thing you just said? You don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't.
If there's fraud involved.
I mean, obviously there's some. I don't know if it's widespread enough to win him the 4 million votes he's winning by right now.
I think you underestimate the hatred for Donald Trump and the left's insistence on getting him out of office one way or another.
Perhaps.
It's a mess, man. This is not good.
It is a mess. No, it's not good.
It's
not good. How many times have we warned? This guy's he's losing his noodle.
Talking about Biden.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He is he's going to be controlled if he's in office at all by then. He's going to be controlled by the extreme left wing. He's going to be controlled by socialists and communists. And, I mean, if you don't believe that, the Communist Party liked him so much, they didn't even run a candidate. They just endorsed Joe Biden.
Okay, but take Biden out of this. If you've got half of the population, and maybe not half thinks this, but a substantial amount of the population think this isn't a legitimate election, that's the issue. Mm-hmm. Then the larger, long scale, long range issue is the fact that it would be Biden, President Harris. Mm-hmm. How many weeks do you think before she's in the Oval Office?
I've said 6 months.
6 months?
I think 6 months. Yeah. No more than that. Well, okay. I will go 6 months to a year because he's on enough medication that maybe he gets through the first year of his term, and then they just say, okay, you know what? He's been declining, and it just came on really fast. And so thank goodness, though, we've got somebody as qualified as Kamala Harris to take over in his stead and just run this country with a really super smooth transition.
Well, that's their plan A. If plan A gets pushback from Jill, then plan B will say, okay, we'll release the hounds on China then and Ukraine.
Yeah.
And then they'll get him out that way.
Exactly.
Okay, but I haven't completely... No, let's not lose hope yet. I mean...
No, I haven't...
If you win your last 4 games, and then your opponent loses their last 2, and then we're trying to figure out how to make this math work. But yeah, you got to have either Arizona...
He has to win. Either Arizona or Nevada.
And Arizona looks more likely of those two right now. By the way, you talked about Fox News, how like on election night, they called Virginia like literally 5 minutes after the polls closed, even though
I think
numbers,
Trump was ahead when they called.
By a ton.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, if you look at where I got it. Yes. But yet they're so quick to call Arizona and all this stuff. Okay, Alaska? Fox News isn't going to call Alaska where Trump has a 2-1 margin?
Double.
No, it's too soon.
Yeah.
It's too soon.
That's amazing.
The tundra vote hasn't come in yet, and they're big on Biden out there. What the hell? Come on.
That's true.
So obvious.
That's a really good point. Yeah, Alaska that's ludicrous. He's up 63-33. With 63 to 33% with 50% of the vote in.
Yeah, we're
stop it. There's no way. There's no way Biden wins that. And they haven't called it yet. It's too early.
We can't.
It's just too difficult. I don't know. We've got the Fairbanks vote. And the Nome vote is still to come. The Nome vote. Now, you know how many liberals there are in Nome.
Right. Oh,
Nome, Alaska?
Right.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I can't wait for the Fox News alert graphic. Fox News is comfortable calling the state of Alaska 3 electoral votes to President Trump.
Or will they go to Biden? We are now. It looks like Trump is way ahead at 63 to 33%. But based on the Nome vote that is still to come, we are now predicting Alaska goes to Joe Biden.
All right, somebody better post that on Twitter and tag me when that moment happens at some point today, tomorrow, whenever.
That would almost, according to Fox's count, that would just about put him over, but not quite.
Yeah.
It'd get him to 267. He'd only be 3 electoral votes away. Right now on Fox, he has 6 electoral votes. He literally needs 1 state of the remaining states that are out. Biden needs 1
because they
state.
gave Arizona to him, which makes no sense.
Yep.
And again, don't forget the votes overnight. It's closing the gap there. Trump is catching up. He's on pace to get very close to Biden.
I will say again, the vote in Nevada has been an 8,000 vote lead for Biden for like 2 days now. Why are you not counting votes in Nevada? It's not that hard.
Well, it takes a while to
count them.
Fill out fake ballots and then get them run through the machine. And then
it does feel like that's going on. I don't know how much of it, but there's obviously a good deal.
I'm telling you what, 2000 turned out to be a blessing for the state of Florida because they got their act together.
Yeah.
And they shined on election night.
Did you see the Hispanics partying in the streets because Trump won?
No.
That was really cool to see.
Oh, nice.
Really
like
cool
Cuban Americans in Florida and Miami and everything? Huh.
Yeah.
No, I did see one Florida voter who was not happy with how his state.
Oh, no, I hate to hear that.
Yeah.
There's a Florida voter who's unhappy right now?
Yeah. You want to see this guy?
Yeah, let's hear from him.
I'm sorry, but this has to be said. Florida, you need to start reading the room. Read the room. Read the chart. You see the bad, important, the only reason revenue comes into Florida. You see them? Yeah. Miami, Tampa, Orlando, Tallahassee. I mean, I don't really go to Jacksonville, but Kiki and then that other little square blue that voted for us. Read the room, okay? Read the room. Because guess what? I've lived in Orlando my whole life, and I've never had a fantasy of traveling to Sarasota. What the
Pause it for a second. So
No,
because some people in Florida like Biden, they should all like Biden
Correct.
and vote for him?
That's this guy's hot take.
Is that how we vote now? This guy's a genius. All right, let's see the rest of this. Wow.
No one. When they come here, they go, Disney, Miami, I want to visit the Capitol. We voted for the right side, so what? Ew. What the is this? Oh my God, I cannot believe I woke up to this This is so nasty. This makes no sense. You are zero. They didn't even put your city on the map. Bye. Leave. Oh my. Oh, so mad.
Wow, is that guy bizarre?
In his defense, at least he's parked.
Yeah,
He's not like,
true.
guys, I know I'm in the car right now, but. So anyway, so not everybody in Florida happy with the way that.
Does he realize his candidate's way ahead right now?
He might have made that video. I love
before?
How, yeah, I don't know. He must work odd hours because he woke up and saw Florida had
won
so
for Trump.
Yeah, that went early.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that was election night. Early on, before I went to bed, Florida was decided. All right, let me tell you about realestateagentsitrust.com. If you want to move out of a crappy state like, I don't know, Massachusetts or California, you're going to need to sell your home and then buy one in a different place. And Real Estate Agents I Trust are just the people to help you with that because they're really good at what they do. This is Glenn's company, so his team has fully vetted these agents and know that they've got great track records, great marketing plans. They're fans of the show, so you're going to have a lot in common with them. Whether you're buying or selling, maybe doing both because you're relocating, realestateagentsitrust.com will set you up with an agent who will see you through the whole process, start to finish. Real Estate Agents I Trust. Name really says it all. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. It's realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Speaking of California, I'm getting really sick and tired of the California effect. I'm tired of Californians moving to other states and ruining them. Great states, Oregon, Washington, Colorado, for the love of heaven. Californians responsible for those states going blue. And they're starting to affect in a very serious way Utah and Texas politics as well. So, you know what? I think it's time to turn the tables on California. Let's Texifornia, California. Let's have some Texans, who enjoy sunshine and really high real estate prices. And maybe some Utahns and Floridians. Encourage more Cuban Americans maybe to migrate and send them all to California. And let's just... Millions of conservatives move to California and turn those 55 electoral votes red.
Gosh, I don't know that I want to walk on those charcoals. Yikes!
It would take a big sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I'm sick of California.
Listen to this. You've got a local pathead here in the Dallas area who says in Plano, just drive around the North End. He says IBM, Dr. Pepper, Amazon, Toyota all moved their headquarters in the last decade. They all brought their California employees. There's enough population there to swing votes in elections.
Yeah, well, that's happening. We're seeing it happen.
Yeah.
Seeing it.
There's somebody that lives in Idaho. This is how you stop the influx in your state. But got a call from someone in California, a real estate agent in Idaho, got a call from someone moving from California and said, I'm sorry, we don't sell homes to people moving from California, and hung up on them. That's a true story. That's how you stop it. You got to get the real estate agents to all stand in solidarity and say, nope, we don't sell to your kind.
Sorry, you're not coming here. No. I don't care what race or religion you are, but you're from California.
Yeah.
That's statism. And it's fine. It's perfectly fine to practice statism. You can't come here.
Yeah, okay. I like it. I like that because that's still legal, right?
Yes, as far as I know. It's agonizing, though, because they really are having an effect here. And, while it hasn't gotten to the point where Democrats dream about yet, because they keep saying, well, Texas is going to turn blue this time. It's going to be blue. No, it isn't. I mean, Donald Trump won Texas by 6 percentage points. It should be 16, I grant you. Mm-hmm. But it is not a tie situation or a really super duper close situation yet. But it's getting there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's getting there. You had the Beto thing where he almost beat Ted Cruz. Cruz won by, I think, was it 3? He wound up winning by 3%. That could have been a little leftover anger because of the way he handled the whole Trump situation. People might have been pissed at Cruz for that. I don't know.
Out for him, yeah.
Yeah. But we got to stop this influx and this influence of Californians coming and changing the state's because they moved here for a reason, whether it's economical, lifestyle, affordable housing, or you got a great job here, and then you try to turn it into what you had to leave. It just doesn't make any sense, and I want it to stop.
Yeah,
I really do. I can't take it anymore.
Cruz won by 2.6%.
2.6, even less than 3.
Yeah, and Beto, right? He's going to be the gun czar, right? If Biden becomes president.
Yeah, won't that be nice? What was it he said? Hell yes, I'm going to take your AR-15.
Okay.
Hell no, you're not.
Okay, Beto.
Yeah. Hopefully he knows better than that now. We got this from Pathead Stalwart, the Steve 42. He's boiled down the election for us.
Okay, here we go.
Big difference between the left's plan, depending on who wins.
Okay.
If Trump wins, looting and riots.
Okay.
I think that's probably true. If Biden wins, riots and looting. So it turns around completely.
I see. I mean, that's two Americas
victory.
right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get one or the other.
Also, we got this current electoral map. Things are a little bit mixed up a little bit, maybe.
Oh, it's not clear now?
No, it's not quite
clear picture
as
of
clear as we'd like it to be. Here's the map.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
That's good. Wow, some yellow in there with the red and the blue. What's that all about?
Yeah, it's a two-year-old color job for those of you who don't have Blaze
Look,
TV.
Go back. The Northeast apparently undecided at this hour. The entire swath.
Yeah, right.
We're still waiting for Maine and New Hampshire, Vermont. Come on, guys. Let's count those votes. Yeah, this is a mess.
Speaking of counting those votes, here's a guy who was counting the votes in Georgia. Just an example, little anecdotal evidence of what's going on with the election count right now.
Let's see.
I'm wondering what's going on here. This dude has a fit about something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's yelling at a ballot.
Wow.
And then
Yeah. Okay. So
flips off a ballot. And then crumples it up.
no way.
Yeah, look, I'm not counting that
yes
one.
way.
Throws it
Crumples it up, threw it on the floor in the garbage.
That's not voter fraud. I don't know what is.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Huh. I'm sure that's the only instance that you can find of
Right.
something like that in the
And
entire
of course,
United
we
States.
pointed out because we're far right-wing media types, and we find
Yeah.
the one guy.
The one guy.
The one guy. Yeah, so your democracy is in that guy's hands.
Jeez.
That guy needs to be on meds.
Yes, and, creating a little election fraud, maybe even in jail. Put him on meds and then, we put him in a home or an institution of some kind, get him some help. Maybe that would be nice. But don't let him count the ballots in an important, very close election like this. 888-900-3393. Love to hear your thoughts as well. Coming up. Because I'm dispangry this morning. That's despairing and angry.
Yeah.
We're only going to do traffic and weather together every 9 minutes on the threes. So
Wait, you can't.
yeah, we don't care as much today.
Wait, but people are still in
Sorry.
traffic. You can't take the election results
I don't care.
out on people's commutes.
Probably shouldn't, but I'm going to anyway.
And by the way, every 9 minutes on the threes almost works, right?
Almost,
Kinda-ish.
but not quite.
No.
Let's see. We got some tweets here from someone named James. The math doesn't make sense because you're using the U.S. standard. Oh.
Aha!
Okay.
Aha!
Sarcastic sniff tweets, you're picking on the 170-year-old for voting, but not the fact that Jeffy voted? It's a good point. See, what he's saying here is that in addition to being fat and dumpy, Jeffy is also extremely old.
Oh,
like
is that
older than 170 years old.
So that's what he's saying.
Yes.
I wasn't quite following
Well, I
that.
was sensing some of that. That's why I explained it to you.
Right, okay. So he's,
Okay.
So
All
he's
right.
fat and dumpy.
Fat, dumpy, and super old.
super
Like
old.
ancient old.
Ancient old, yeah.
Maria E. Generoso tweets, actually, you're both wrong.
What?
The 170-year-old is a first-time voter. Oh,
Is that right?
wow.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes they're proud of that. Yeah, I'm voting for the first time. You irresponsible douchebag.
Right?
What do you mean you're voting for the first time at 170?
So
Come
wow.
on.
So Grant was reelected. No thanks to you.
Right?
And I'm sure he loved getting that first time he got that I voted sticker on his jammies.
Probably.
So that must have been a fun day for him.
Let's see, from Bob Blah Blah, U.S. How come all 120-plus-year-old voters vote Democrat 100% of the time? Well, it's their experience and wisdom that inspires
Is that what it
them
is?
to
Yeah,
vote
the rest
Democrat.
of us are just dumb. We haven't lived
Yeah.
a
Right.
life yet.
Right.
And so they know better than us. I see. We're just whippersnappers.
Exactly. Libertarian Ninja, Nevada has said that they won't release any data until noon today.
Okay.
All right.
Now that ought to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll go well.
So right now in Arizona, what's happening is that the votes that are still being counted they're going Trump's way, right? They're
In
splitting-
Arizona.
In Arizona,
Yes.
not in Nevada, but in Arizona, they tend to split for Trump right now. But
Yeah.
is it enough to overcome the deficit?
Yeah, I think it was
We'll see.
59% of the votes is the pace that Trump is on right now with the votes that they're tallying.
Okay, so he's getting almost 60% of the vote
I think
that's
it's
coming in.
Maricopa. I forget exactly which county.
So if they keep breaking like that, is it enough? We don't know.
I mean,
right?
Keith Math said no,
Oh, geez.
but
I hope Keith Math is wrong.
it typically is. So
Yeah.
that's a silver lining there.
So there you go.
So yeah, this is not fun. But
No, it's
you
not.
know, so if he gets those two states, Biden,
Yeah, then it's
Biden,
over.
It's over. It's 270, and you guys can thank Omaha, Nebraska for that one electoral vote.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. If you're listening in Omaha right now.
Seriously, Omaha, what is your deal? Nebraska, fix it.
From Pixie Pie, the laughter is soul cleansing. Thanks, Pat and Keith. And good morning, Pat Heads. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
Content Farm Boy.
Content.
Content,
I
not
believe it's
content.
content.
Content Farm Boy. Why is it that all these people make these stupid screaming videos in their cars? It's a good question. It's a good question. You can't do that at home? Maybe because their parents would be pissed if they're yelling
I think
the
the
F
next
word.
tweet actually addresses that.
Dubious Joe cheats. They scream in their cars because, one, that's where they live, or two, mommy didn't want them screaming in the house.
I think the best John Clayton, the ESPN ad, where he lives at his mom's house.
Yeah, so funny. So great.
We've got to post this. ESPN, say what you will about them and their politics, they make great ads. And they always have.
Yes.
And John Clayton, who is like the nerd, wears glasses. Anyway, he does a live hit from his house and then from his bedroom and cranks up his music and yells at his mom. We got to post that. It's very funny.
Lets his hair down.
Yeah.
Which is hanging down to his shoulders.
Yeah. Mom, I'm done with my segment.
Tobin for Pope campaign. Alaska results aren't in yet because ballot harvesting was by dog sled, and it's really complicated.
Oh, okay. See, I knew it was something to do with the
All right.
the dog sleds.
Yeah. Party like it's 1861 tweets, the way it works with Democrats, as long as I believe it, it's the belief of every American. Yeah, that's true.
That's what I think.
Is true. All right. Let's go to Gloria in Arkansas. Gloria, hi. You're on the Blaze.
Hi.
Hi.
Let me turn this down.
All right.
I just wanted to call in, tell you guys good morning, and don't we live in some weird times?
Yes, we do.
I'm sending my husband to the store to pick up toilet paper and paper goods.
Because you're getting ready for the Armageddon that's coming.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
But thank God we got the Senate, right?
Yes, it looks like. I mean, I hope that doesn't fall apart. But yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Gloria. That is the silver lining in this election. It looks like, I mean, it very strongly looks like we're going to keep the Senate, and that's our remaining firewall. That's all we have between us and the total destruction and fundamental transformation of this nation. So, thank heaven, literally, for that blessing.
I need to, and maybe other people already have. I'm going to look up how many seats are up in 2 years in the Senate to see if it's more Republican seats or Democrat seats. Because if Biden gets the presidency and obviously the House of Representatives goes the Democrats' way, that's going to be a very important election in 2022.
Yes, yeah, it will. Also, kind of interesting. I've seen some articles on some left-leaning websites where they consider this election, despite the fact that it looks like Biden is going to win it, pull it out for presidency. Not necessarily true, but it looks like it at this point. But they're considering the election kind of a disaster because they thought they were going to greatly increase their numbers in the House, and they really believed they were going to take over the Senate.
Blue Nami, remember?
The Blue Nami was going to, and it was going to give them the ability to do all kinds of wonderful things on our behalf.
I think what happened was when they turned in those fraudulent ballots, they were just lazy and they only marked the presidency. Instead of the down ballot races, you got to mark those as well.
Right. Yeah. But, I mean, they were planning things like splitting states into multiple states so that they could have more Senate seats.
No.
Yeah. Things. I mean, that's pretty drastic.
Yeah.
They want to split California into 5 states to give them 10 senators from that super liberal area. You'd have a hard time breaking it down to where no part of California is conservative, but they'd have probably 8 or 9 of the 10.
They're going to call that Senate packing?
Yes. Yeah,
oh, my goodness.
That's exactly what they're trying to do.
Which, by the way, speaking of the Senate, in 2022, there are 12 Democrat seats up, 20 Republican.
Yeah, jeez.
Careful.
Why is it always more Republicans up for re-election than Democrats? All right, we're going to take some more of your calls, and we haven't even scratched the surface on all this stuff for the election, and then there are a few other things going on in the world besides the election. But first, let me tell you about Scoremaster. Every time I share the stories of Scoremaster, and one of them in particular was the listener who got 180 points added to their credit score in about 30 days. Now, the average person has 97 points that they can quickly add to their credit score. But, of course, we don't have any idea how to get them. Scoremaster created this algorithm that super boosts your credit scores, not just by a few points, but by an average of 61 points. Scoremaster, putting you in control of your finances. You can enroll in just minutes. Go to scoremaster.com/Pat. Scoremaster.com/Pat. See what they can do for you.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Okay, what were you just telling me in my ear?
Okay, so you know how we just ended on a sour note that in 2022, the Senate, there are 20 Republican seats up for re-election, only 12 Democrats, still 2 outstanding with the election results, so that could change a little bit there. 2024, it's 21 Democrat seats, 10 Republican seats.
Okay.
So that'll...
So soon.
So there you go.
It's going to be interesting. If, let's say the president loses this time.
No, I don't want to say that.
I mean, I don't want to say that. I don't want to believe it. I don't want it to happen.
Okay, all right. But if it does.
But just let's go with that for a moment. Would he run again in 2024 just to drive them out of their minds? Wouldn't that be interesting if after 4 disastrous years of Biden-Harris or Harris-Biden or Harris-Pelosi, whatever it turns out to be, once Biden is incapable, wouldn't it be fascinating to have a rerun?
I will say this, that the lack of GOP support right now during these recount, or
they're
soon to be recount, it just seems like there's very little party support.
I think the establishment Republicans want him gone as much as the Democrats do.
And I think they would challenge him in 2024 if he ran.
But other than a Trump, maybe it's not Donald Trump, but maybe it's Donald Trump Jr., perhaps. Maybe he gives it a shot in 2024. He's been kind of hinting that might be, he might be considering that. Who are you going to go with in the Republican Party that is a really strong option? Because I don't think Mike Pence is a super strong option. I don't think Mike Pence excites anybody. So Ben Sasse, maybe?
Well, he would definitely go opposite Trump.
Yeah, and people are pissed at him. So maybe they forget. Maybe it fades by 2024. But Ben Sasse has probably angered the base that Donald Trump has to the point where they wouldn't consider him. Would Ted Cruz run again? I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. Well, if he did, I don't know that people are interested in Cruz for president anymore.
Yeah. Nikki Haley.
Kristi
Noem.
Yes, please. Either one of those would be great.
Tulsi Gabbard may be a Republican by then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who else would we see from the right?
I'm trying to think. You got some of these up-and-comers, but they're too young. Like
Dan Crenshaw would be good.
Oh, Dan Crenshaw's one. Mm-hmm. Madison, what's his face who just won? Madison Cawthorn in North Carolina. He's the one in the wheelchair from the Republican National Convention. Really well-spoken, just too young. I don't know that he'd even be eligible by then.
You think Marco Rubio would run again?
Maybe. He'd still be young enough. Yeah, maybe Rubio's an option. Got that Florida base. He's Hispanic. Nobody will consider him as such. The Democrats will be racist against him, I'm sure, but that won't matter.
Speaking of racist against him, we're going to talk about irregularities in Michigan with John James having the Senate seat taken from him, where, as a black man, having that happening right now, and there's been no chatter about that. So, anyway.
Yeah. There's all kinds of things going on around the country, and we will detail some of those for you. Also, got this from author Harlan Hill, posted this. Wisconsin has 3,684,726 active registered voters. Okay, so 3.68 million. They counted 3.288 million votes. That's a pretty good turnout. Is that only 89%? Only?
Only.
Uh-huh.
All right, so in other words, 11% of registered voters in Michigan are lazy, is a takeaway, I think. Is that the point he's making?
No.
How could so many Michiganders...
I don't think you got the gist of that.
Was that Wisconsin?
Keith,
Okay,
yes,
so
Wisconsin.
You people in Wisconsin, 11% of you can't get off your butts.
And get to the polls.
You got 170-year-olds voting. What's your excuse?
Irregularities. There are a few.
Yeah, that's such a kind word, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have other words that aren't fit for air.
Really?
But we'll go with irregularities.
Okay. Here's some of Minnesota voting percentages by county. Let's see. Anoka County.
Okay.
92.3% showed up.
Look at that involvement.
Yeah,
go, Minnesota.
These are proud Americans. Dakota County, essentially 92%.
92. Uh-huh.
Hennepin County, 90.3%.
All right.
Ramsey County, they were really slacking. 88.2%.
88.2, you slackers.
And in Washington, 93.3%.
And again, the takeaway is that 6.7% of
are just too
Washington
lazy
County residents
to
up
do
in
their
Minnesota
civic duty.
can't just get out and vote. I mean,
Yeah,
you had like you could have mailed it in. Anyway.
It's a really carefully coordinated effort, if that's what this is.
Well, the virus was
because
a godsend for them.
They're doing it to the point, well, except in some, we found some occasions and some locations where they didn't plan it correctly, and 202% of the vote showed up. But when it's 93%, that's enough to, make a huge difference, sway the election, and yet be able to say, well, those are just active, involved citizens.
Yeah,
that's all.
Those get out and vote commercials really had an impact.
Not our fault that like 65% normally show up in other places. We really care here.
We care. Well, except for Washington County, we're a mere, what was it?
It was 93.3%.
Oh, what was the other county? It was 88%.
Yeah, we should shame those people. Ramsey County,
Minnesota.
88.2%.
What is your deal? Do you care about the future of this country or not?
The obvious answer is not. Obviously not.
I swear. I mean, what's it going to take? How many more get out and vote ads do you need to see?
In Pennsylvania, the 538.
Oh, yeah.
Posted this.
Okay.
2 more batches of Pennsylvania votes were reported.
Okay, we got some new numbers. What do we got?
23,277 votes in Philadelphia.
Okay.
All of them went to Joe Biden. All of them. About 5,300 votes in Luzerne County, nearly 4,000 of which were for Biden. With 83% of the expected vote in, Trump's lead in Pennsylvania is now just, a 1.5 points now. But at the time of this posting, it was 6 points, and he was way ahead. I mean, 600,000 or 700,000 ahead because of these kinds of numbers, where you get a whole batch of 23,277, 100% for Biden.
I mean, that's a community that came together. They found a common bond, and you're laughing at it. I mean, it's nice to see people of one mind, right, in the community?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And by the way, all of those Philadelphia precinct videos that were posted on Election Day, Republican poll watchers blocked out of these places to witness what was happening.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Yeah, but that was taken out of context.
Oh.
I'm sure there's a context in which that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze Radio Network.
Unashamed.
Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. DMXDM tweets, Austin and Houston are doing their worst to destroy Texas. California's been wrecking Idaho and Montana for decades. Liberalism is a cancer.
It changed Colorado. California did.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Oregon and Washington, too. Just quite a while ago, they accomplished that. More recently, Colorado. It's happening to us here in Texas. It's happening in Utah. And it's got to stop.
Shelter in place, California.
Yeah.
Don't
please.
leave.
South Dakota soup wafer for Trump. I think it's time to bring back the "this is your brain on drugs" PSA, because too many of y'all were on drugs when you voted. Coffee Lover M, listening to Pat Talk 2024 presidential candidate options makes everyone in the audience want to jump off the nearest building.
Really?
Don't do that.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, yeah, because there's no... Who is there?
I thought we went through the list.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
right,
wait.
we did.
Oh, no, I just made her point for her.
Yes, indeed you did. Brent Young tweets, 93.3% turnout is embarrassing compared to the 200% turnout.
Yeah, you're 93%.
True.
You guys.
Yeah.
Just get out and, be
I mean,
active.
you don't care. You just don't care about the country. You don't care like the voting wards in Milwaukee care. They care so much that more people than exist voted. That's incredible. Now, that's commitment to their country. That's patriotism, if you will, right there.
Yeah.
Let's go to Rod in New Hampshire. Hey, Rod, you're on the Blaze.
Get you off speaker 1 second. Gentlemen, well,
Yes.
talk about people moving in.
Mm-hmm.
New Hampshire, a federal delegation. Now, also, let me preface this. In New Hampshire, it's paper ballot, pen, and your driver's license.
Okay.
So we had everything done before midnight or just after midnight. So federal delegation went Democrat. The governor, executive council, we have 4 layers of government. State Senate House, all Republican.
Oh, wow. Huh.
And
How'd that happen? That's kind of weird, isn't it? It's sort of weird. So they voted Republican everywhere except for president. Pretty
President,
much.
Senate, and House. Federal House. So the federal delegation all went Democrats. So
okay, the federal.
Two things. Yeah. So there's only federal delegation. So it's 1-2 things here. Because once this pandemic hit, our state just got freaking flooded. It was, and I'm not talking just New York, Mass, Connecticut.
Yeah.
We had Ohio plates show up. California was showing up here.
Jeez.
And
so everybody wanted to get away from population centers and move to New Hampshire all of a sudden.
Live free or die, baby.
Right?
Yeah, because we were only in like a lockdown for at most a month. And other than that, we've been out and we've been open and running around. Now,
are there piles of dead bodies everywhere that you look now because of that, Rod?
I don't think I've tripped over any yet.
Okay.
You don't think, but it was dark and you're not positive.
Yeah.
He was non-committal on that answer. I'd like to point out, Your Honor.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah, that's how it turned out here. Because here in New Hampshire we have a 400-member House and 24 Senate. So
wow,
from the last election we flipped from 14-10 Democrat to 14-10 Republican in the Senate, and I think we have 189 or 190 some reps in the state House now.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's kind of surprising, isn't it? In New Hampshire, is that a new thing? It obviously is.
Republican?
Yeah.
No,
it's not a new thing.
No, it Democrat, because from the time of the Civil War up until the mid '90s, us Republicans had control of the state of New Hampshire. And it was just recently, and it's been flipping back and forth over the past 20 years between Democrat and Republican. But but the last session we had enough Republicans in the House and in the Senate. They didn't have supermajorities, and our governor was Republican, so the red flag laws and all that stuff all got shot down. So, we were able to maintain a sense of normalcy right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. All right, appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Rod.
Yeah, you talked about how moving into an era you could change the votes and stuff. I remember a group of hardcore libertarians about 2 decades ago called the Free State Project actually took over. I should have asked him. A town in New Hampshire, Keene, New Hampshire. They all concentrated so they could take over a community and hold office. And anyway, I think that's almost on a larger scale. That's what's happening with Californians moving to these states and changing them with these high concentration as influx of voters.
Yeah.
Yay.
And you notice that over the last few years, California's population has gone from 44 million to 39-something million. So, yeah, I mean, they are having a major impact on the states around them. You look at a state like Utah, they've got 3 million population. If you have 300,000 people move in over the years, that drastically changes the dynamic.
Sure does.
Robert in Kentucky. Hi, you're on the Blaze. There, Robert?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, hey, good morning. First off, wanted to say it's weird not talking to you face to face because I'm usually shouting at Channel 238 Pluto at you guys, going through the craziness that's going on.
Yep.
Two, my most recent rant has been about your wife's cookies making me fat. Jeffy's mini-me. We enjoyed those for our anniversary. So thank you guys for that. They're amazing.
Thank you.
It's not just cookies. And third, you wanted a little bit of hope today.
Yes, I do.
Slump. My wife is a millennial, and she did not vote for either Hillary or Trump last election. She, after talking to her, sharing stuff that Glenn has posted about what Trump has accomplished, and other things from theblaze.com, she actually told me she held her nose and voted Trump this time, even though she washed her mouth out. But so there are a lot of people that are starting to see the light and are out there voting. So, and especially the millennials, which have been indoctrinated so much in fascism and communism and socialism that they're still out there voting for Trump. So.
That's great. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Robert. So there are some bright spots. Hopefully getting through to some people.
Yeah, so Trump up nearly 7 million votes from last time. Let's see, yeah. So
that's really something. 7 million votes, and it's not enough. Maybe. We'll see.
About 6 million votes more. Okay, there you go.
Lori D. in New Mexico. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, guys. Good
Hey.
morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, this needs to be the last boomer election ever. It has to be the last boomer election. So there are so many wonderful people coming up through the ranks. Nikki Haley, Candace Owens, 2024. That is the ticket I am praying for. These women have taken hits left, right, and they're still standing.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
Yeah.
So, and then Dan Crenshaw as SecDef. Absolutely. I want a dude that's missing a critical body part running our military. I really, really do. Because I've read his book. He's an amazing, amazing person. So I wish I lived in Texas again. And I apologize. Every state I've lived in except Texas votes blue. So maybe it's my fault. I don't know.
Wow.
We'll see.
All right. Thanks, Lori
I
D.
live in Virginia and California and Washington, man. It sucks.
And other, yep. Okay. Thanks a lot. Appreciate
Bye.
it.
Goodness.
888-900-3393.
That's the key right there. Wherever Lori D. She can't
Wherever
come
she
to
moves,
Texas.
it turns blue.
Then it'll turn blue.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah, we just can't allow her to come back. No, because there's the evidence that she's a Democrat curse.
A jinx.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
don't care for that.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let's check out the video where the Republicans were told to leave the voting count.
Oh, in Michigan, yeah.
This is in Michigan, cut number 5.
Throwing all the Republican challengers out of this room.
Now we don't know the full context other than that guy is telling us that they are having the Republican challengers leave that room. And that room looks familiar because it's also the room where they blocked the view of the press that was trying to watch the counting.
Oh, wow.
Look at this. Nope, you're not going to be looking in here. I mean, it seems like this. Complete context, I realize,
Make you
is there.
suspicious.
Right. It's like we are a third world nation with some of the stuff happening. That's what it feels like. Come on.
Why would you do that?
Are we not an open society or what?
Yeah, that's just amazing. That's amazing. And then they wonder why Republicans think that the vote is being stolen.
Okay.
The election is being stolen.
Conspiracy theorist. Okay, I got you. Let's see.
That is amazing. Wow. Also, Project Veritas looking into a little voter fraud. They were in a place incognito again and recorded this guy, but he is saying things about his boss, and so and I think this is a postal worker.
Correct.
Right? This is the postal worker who is talking about the unusual things happening in the post office concerning the ballots.
Michigan, yeah.
And if he were to be found out, obviously he'd probably be fired. So his voice is disguised. It's a little hard to understand, but here's what took place.
Tell us where you work.
I work in the Traverse City Post Office, more specifically the Barlow branch.
Your boss told you and your colleagues something that shocked you this morning. What was it?
We were issued a directive this morning to collect any ballots we find in mailboxes, collection boxes, just outgoing mail in general. Separate them at the end of the day so that they could hand stamp them with the previous day's date. Today is November 4th, for clarification.
Pause it for a second.
Who is
Okay,
your boss?
so what he's saying there is this is the day after. This is yesterday. And the day before that, on Election Day, these should have been counted, and then you stop at Election Day midnight. Well, his boss told him to postmark the ballots that he received afterwards for the 2nd or the 3rd.
We said this was going to happen with these mail-in votes coming in late.
This was Trump's problem concerning the mail-in vote. It's too easy for something to go wrong in a post office where, they're activists or they just hate Trump or whatever. He was worried that they might postmark ballots or mess with the ballots or throw away ballots that came in that were favorable to him.
That's not an unreasonable assumption by President Trump either when the Postal Workers Union endorsed Joe Biden.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see more of this.
Who is your boss, and what is his title?
Jonathan would be a direct supervisor, yes. As of right now, he is the opening supervisor for the Barlow branch post office. So and this is anecdotal, carrier down in another office said they watched the postmaster doing it. If it were just a typical day, it would be clerks doing it up at the distribution center.
Pause it for a second. So this is not Satan working at one of the post office branches.
That we know of.
I
mean, it's possible there is a postal office, and maybe you've interacted with a postal employee that reminds you of Satan, but we don't think that's this guy.
Yeah, we're pretty sure. It might be the Antichrist, but we don't believe it's Satan himself. But
he works at a supermarket, from what I hear.
That's true, right. It's a Ralph's, I think, in California. But he obviously is being asked to postmark the wrong date on the ballots so that they can be counted when they shouldn't be.
Wow.
And there was more.
8 p.m. Election Day, November 3rd. The Court of Appeals ruled ballots have to be received by that time.
Mm-hmm.
And what were you told?
To separate them today so they could mark them with yesterday's date and send them through the express system to wherever they needed to go.
This appears to be an attempt to circumvent Michigan law and allow late votes. And you said there was a hamper where letter carriers were supposed to leave their ballots. Where are the ballots now?
They were putting them into express bags to go to the distribution center. In regards to a hamper, there was a standard hamper that all letter mail is supposed to go to, and they had a tub next to it that we were supposed to put any ballots collected today into.
Yes. What made you come forward?
That's sketchy. Like sketchy, it screams corruption. Also knowing the post office's leanings politically, it didn't seem quite right.
What is your message to other postal workers who see things like this?
Report it. How are we supposed to have any integrity in this country if we are just going to let things slide based on a scaling issue?
Are you afraid of retaliation against you?
I've had whistleblower policies backfire on me in the past, so yes.
We'll have to reach out to Jonathan Clark for comment.
Oh. Hey, is this Jonathan?
Yes.
Hey, I'm a reporter with Project Veritas, James O'Keefe here, and I have information that you guys have been stamping ballots with the previous date, November 3rd. He just hung up the phone on me. He just hung up the phone on me.
Thank you, James O'Keefe, for doing this stuff, man. Seriously.
Wow. And it continues to be ignored by most of the media. They just don't care. They don't care. Well, that was taken out of context. We didn't see the entirety of what he did during the day. No, you just saw the relevant parts. That is true.
It's going to be like court TV, sadly. November, December, January. We're going to be. Now let's check in with what's happening in the Michigan courtroom. Now let's go to Arizona. Sharpie Gate. I mean, it's going to be all sorts of fun stuff. This is not healthy.
No. You know what else sucks? Losing your hair. It sucks really bad.
I wouldn't know, personally.
I mean, if we're to prioritize, okay, stealing the election in the United States is worse. But, a fairly close second is losing your hair. But there is something you can do about it. And you don't even have to go to the doctor's office and then to the pharmacy and spend all kinds of money doing that. Go online to keeps.com, keeps.com/Pat. You'll get the same doctor-recommended, FDA-approved hair loss treatment. It's just that all you have to do is answer some questions online, snap some pictures of your hair, and then a licensed doctor will review all that information and recommend the right hair loss treatment for you. So get this done while you still can. Go to Keeps. It doesn't get any better on its own. You know that. KEEPS.com. Keeps.com/Pat. Get 50% off your first order of Keeps hair loss treatment. Keeps.com/Pat. That's Keeps.com/Pat.
Brock and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
You can't argue with either one of those things because you can't understand what the hell it is he's talking about. But that is an advantage for him. You don't know how to respond to that. You're just dumbfounded.
I had hoped we would be done with him after Tuesday.
I did too.
Rock and I think it's a right
for
people to have bad health care.
Bad health care is a right.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Pressure. Got some tweets here from Daniel Lowry, or Lowery. I think we need a Pat Unleashed reenactment of the screaming Florida guy you guys played this morning. Could use a good laugh.
Yeah.
Can we remind people of what he's talking about, just in case you missed it?
I'm sorry, but this has to be said. Florida, you need to start reading the room. Read the room. Read the chart. You see the bad, important, the only reason revenue comes into Florida. You see them? Yeah. Miami, Tampa, Orlando, Tallahassee. Right. I mean, I don't really go to Jacksonville, but Kiki and then that other little square blue that voted for us. Read the room, okay?
Read the room. That's right.
Because guess what? I've lived in Orlando my whole life, and I've never had a fantasy of traveling to Sarasota. What the Who comes here for that? No one. When they come here, they go, Disney, Miami, I want to visit the Capitol. We voted for the right side, so what? Ew! What the is this? Ew. Oh my God, I cannot believe I woke up to this. This is so nasty.
Plus, I can't believe I can't do anything with my hair. Why does it keep getting in my face?
Zero.
Maybe I should cut it.
City on the map.
If I would cut it, then I wouldn't have to continually push it back behind my ears. I'm so angry right now. I could chew nails and spit rust. Ooh. Read the room, Florida. Read the room so that I don't have to chew nails and spit rust.
And do what?
Spit rust. Are you laughing at me because I'm Japanese?
Wait, no.
Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm laughing.
You're mad. You are discriminating against me because I am from Japan.
No, I'm laughing at your Sarasota reference. I mean, who comes here for that?
Who comes to Sarasota? No one. Please read the room.
Ew.
I get a kick out of these people who say, read the room. Oh, man.
Ew.
What a world. What a world.
Always in their cars.
Yeah.
Always in their cars.
Holy you guys!
Holy!
I'm driving your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader gets her
Fun!
Did this year get any?
Yeah, it just did.
Sure did.
You just had to make it to 2021!
That's all you had to do.
At this rate, I'm not convinced any of us will make it to 2021.
Yeah.
That's what it's feeling like.
Man. But again, there's, who knows? Is it corruption? Is this election being stolen? I don't know. Look at the Sharpie situation in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is perfectly fine. They don't want you to use a pen. They want you to use a Sharpie.
Oh, okay, let's see.
Explain one more time.
So the people that were in front of me, there were two people in front of me that used the Sharpie.
Yes.
That was given to them by the poll workers.
Yes.
Okay.
It did not read their ballot.
Okay.
And they slid it in there twice. I used a pen.
Yep.
Took their Sharpie and threw it away.
And it read your ballot.
And it read my ballot.
And it read your ballot.
And it read my
So
ballot.
what they're doing is they're telling people to use the Sharpies. That way, those votes aren't counted.
Yes.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yes.
So there was other people that were in there voting with their pens, and they literally went around and they were yanking pens out of their hands.
Yes, they tried to do that to me, and I took their Sharpie and I hid it because then they said, look for all the Sharpies that are not being used and take the Sharpies back.
Huh?
They had a bowl of pens behind them that they were not giving to people and only giving Sharpies out.
There we go.
Wow.
So the ones with the Sharpies are not being read at all.
No.
No.
Huh.
None of those ballots are being read.
Of course not.
So that's and so they're doing it because they're trying to skew all of the votes in there.
And they
That's
didn't,
exactly what's going on.
They didn't try to even slide it more than
Maybe.
one time. They immediately took it and slid it in the front. Like, not even tried a second time. They just
That's correct.
ran it through and slid it in the front. And I was like, wait a
That's
second.
what they did with yours?
Yep, and I just went with the Sharpie, voted Trump, and she just slid it in, and that was it.
But they're not counting. They're not counting the ones with the Sharpies. And so they're forcing people to use the Sharpies, and those votes aren't being counted.
Right.
That's what's going on.
Right. And then I posted it on my Facebook group chat in my neighborhood. They said they did it at the Queen Creek Library. They did it at ASU Polytech earlier. Now, like 4 different polling places were doing Sharpies, all in, like, between Queen Creek and, like, the edge of Gilbert.
Yep. All right. And those ones are...
There's some dispute on that the Sharpies, the Sharpie ballots do count.
The Arizona Secretary of State got hundreds of complaints about this Sharpie stuff, and they're looking into it, and he's going to have an announcement later today.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Mm-hmm. All right. Keep an eye on that as well. Mm-hmm. The plot thickens. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Can the president make up about 69,000 votes against Biden in Arizona to win those 11 electorals? We'll see. Do they have a time frame for that?
Well, I know that 9 o'clock Eastern in Arizona today, they are going to update us on what's going on.
9 Eastern, so in like 20 minutes-ish.
9 p.m., I'm sorry.
Oh, 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Okay.
Here's the actual rundown for the day. We're going to get announcements out of Georgia at 10:30 a.m. Eastern today. Noon Eastern for Nevada, 9 p.m. Eastern for Arizona. North Carolina, I think it's going to be sometime next week, because remember, it was like November 12th they had to get ballots counted or in or something. I don't know. Pennsylvania, it's whenever the hell they want to do that, because you know that the leadership in that state is completely against Trump. But I think the thing we're all waiting on with bated breath is Alaska. I mean, who knows how that's going to fall?
Well, he's only 2-1 ahead.
Right. So
in Alaska, and anything can happen when that Nome vote rolls in.
Yeah. Don't discount the impact of the Nome vote.
Don't do it.
A lot of Californians have moved to the northern tip of Alaska.
You know what they say when they move from Southern California, for instance, to, where it's beautiful, especially in San Diego, it's that continual beautiful weather.
Yeah.
They get sick of it. It is so nice every day that occasionally, well, like every day, we just want some bad weather.
Is San Diego where the popular phrase comes from, you all may go to hell, I'm going to Nome?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Bunch of San Diego residents say that as they screech out of the state.
It's just too freaking nice here. That's what they say. And then they move to Nome, Alaska, where they can feel a chill in their bones, and it makes them feel alive again. And so when that Nome vote rolls in, that's going to be super progressive.
That actually, and that's the genesis of that bitter rivalry between the cities. They used to be sister cities, San Diego and Nome, Alaska, and now they don't get along because they were losing so many residents.
They hate each other
to
now.
The Great White North.
And when their teams get together on the field of battle, you can throw all the record books out. Just throw them out.
Yeah, they do a lot of home and homes, right? And San Diego, when they travel to northern Alaska, that's a tough game outside.
It is. It is.
It's a throat clear and a sniff.
So
for that one.
you just don't know about the Alaska vote. It could just pile
Fox
in.
News,
for,
could you be any more
so
obvious?
ridiculous? Come on, give Alaska to the president.
Nope, can't do it.
It's 63-33.
It's uncertain at this point, guys. I'm sorry. We just can't pull that trigger.
It's hard to believe. It really is. All right, we got some tweets here. Did you have other times that we didn't get to?
That's all that's listed right now.
All right. Michael Siha Beelzebub tweets. Michael Siha Beelzebub. Your show is one of the only things that keeps me Tramanahasama Shirmalabato.
To do what?
Okay.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Adam Snyder tweets, please don't ever stop making me laugh. It helps me get through the day. Well, thank you. We'll certainly try. Vern Lundquist, guys, I'm in my Pontiac panic room right now. That's good. It's a good place to be. Carolina Bulldog, don't make me flare my nostrils. Like this guy, our friend in Florida.
Oh, the Florida man.
Just a little upset. There's a little taste.
I'm sorry, but this has to be said.
Yeah.
Florida,
has to be said.
You need to start reading the room. Read the room. Read the chart. You see the bad, important, the only reason revenue comes into Florida. You see them? Yeah. Miami, Tampa, Orlando, Tallahassee. I mean, I don't really go to Jacksonville, but Kiki, and then that other little square blue Florida bus.
What is that?
Room, okay? Read the room. Because guess what? I've lived in Orlando my whole life, and I've never had a fantasy of traveling to Sarasota. What the Who comes here for that? No
All right.
one.
We
When
got
they
it.
come here-
Jeez. I'll give you such a hit. If you don't start voting the way I want you to vote, I will give you such a hit, it'll knock you into the middle of next week. That's what's going to happen to you.
Oh, my
I'll
goodness.
hit you so hard that by the time you wake up, your clothes will be back in fashion. That's what's going to happen to you.
Oh, I'd like to take you up on that offer.
Right?
Next week, no, knock me into like 2025.
When your clothes come back around?
Sure.
And are fashionable again? That'll be, I can do that.
By the way, here's
I can
Keith
do that.
math for you. I
Mhm.
just did a little calculating. Trump leads in Pennsylvania by 164,000 votes. There are 750,000
Outstanding?
left to count. Which way do you think those are going to go?
Oh, no.
Sorry, I didn't read the room properly.
You should have read the room better than that, Keith. None of us wanted to hear that. None of it.
Now, don't ask me to figure out the percentage of that.
Jeez.
But, there's some places in the country where Joe Biden got 100%. So,
Yeah, or 202%.
202%.
In some cases. Okay. Let's go to Julia in Louisiana. Hey, Julia, you're on the Blaze.
Hi, good morning. I just wanted to let you know, I was born and raised in Mexico, and for so many years, I saw so many elections going, and the fraud was absolutely unbelievable, okay? But as much fraud, as much ideas of how to defraud the election that I've seen in my life, what I'm seeing right now is just child's games compared to Mexico. And Mexico, believe me, is the king of fraud, okay, when it comes to elections. But what I'm seeing here is just leaves Mexico in the dust. It's just, it breaks my heart to see this.
Yeah, it is. It's heartbreaking. You're right. That's not America. That's
no,
amazing.
It's not the America I came in 27 years ago.
It really hurts. All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Julia, thanks.
That's exactly what I said on Twitter yesterday. With this election, we have now become Mexico with nukes.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. This is absurd everywhere.
Bob in Wisconsin, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, you find all these things that are being done in the various precincts and stuff. They're packing the ballot box. And even if you arrest somebody or charge somebody, how do you pull those votes out? I mean, they're in there. They put them in the system. Once they get thrown in the bag.
Yeah. Well, what would happen is, appreciate it, Bob. What would happen if Trump is successful in challenging this is you'd have a recount, and hopefully throw out the ones that are fraudulent. Although, again, you might not know which ones are fraudulent. But I think it would at least prompt a recount of the voting process, and then maybe some oversight, which would be helpful. If you just can't trust so many of these people because we've seen that the left has no integrity whatsoever. They don't care about lying, cheating, stealing. They don't care.
No, and I did a quick scan of the penalties state by state for voter fraud. And typically the maximum amount was a couple of years in prison and a fine. Most places were like, community service. I remember Arizona was like, we're giving you 117 hours of community service for voting twice.
No.
Okay,
Oh, no.
well then, I guess not quite the deterrent that you would hope.
Apparently not.
Yeah, so it's not much of a penalty, man.
It's really, it's incredible. So far, though, the rioting that there was some last night. There were riots that broke out. There were some people attacked. There were some Trump supporters who were attacked by BLM supporters and stabbed. One black woman got stabbed in the back by a BLM supporter. She was actually a Trump supporter. And some Trump supporters went in to help a guy who was being beaten and about to be stabbed, and then they themselves got beaten and stabbed.
But see, now that's...
But that's fine. Don't even talk about that on the news. Nobody wants to hear about it.
Right, and that's tame compared to what would happen if these states start going for Trump. If it starts to look like he's going to pull this thing out, then what you just described is going to be happening in cities all over the country.
Yeah, what I described just now will be like a day at Disney Disney World or Disneyland.
Do you have to wear
one
a
of the
mask
Disney parks.
So wait, you have to wear a mask when you're getting stabbed now?
Yes. Yeah, you do.
Well, I don't want to wear a mask. If you're going to attack me, I definitely don't want to be restricted.
Wait. Is it part of the protest? Then you don't have to wear the mask. If it's part of a protest while you're being stabbed, then you need not wear a mask.
And I love how the press, oh my goodness, look at all these Trump rallies and no one's wearing a mask. And oh my goodness, oh, shut up. Save it. You didn't say a damn thing when people were out there rioting in the streets, so shut up.
No, they just said it was fine.
Yeah, that's
it was
fine.
more important.
It's more important. Attacking racism is much more important than stopping a virus that apparently, according to them, has a death rate of 200%, kind of like their voting percentages as well.
And by the way, any violence at these Trump rallies? Because up to 58,000 people got together, and they pretty much got along, which is weird.
Wait, the right-wing racist white people.
Right, the haters.
That are supporting Trump.
Vitriolic kooks, the nutbags.
Right.
The douches on the right.
Right. I've been told that if you support Trump, you're a racist. And I certainly don't want to be hanging out with a bunch of racists who obviously are prone to violence, the drop of a hat.
Yeah. Prone. They're addicted to violence.
That's kind of like their go juice, huh?
It's what fuels them. Yeah. Their hatred and racism.
Uh-huh.
All right. Let me take a minute and tell you about My Patriot Supply. Speaking of all the unrest, speaking of what's going on in this country right now, things we never thought we'd see here are happening every single day. And things can really get ugly for a while. And maybe it's only ugly for a few days or a week, but you should be prepared for it. And My Patriot Supply is how I got prepared and how you can too. I got tired of finding boll weevils in the grain and the wheat and the barley that we were saving. And you open up the container, and then there's all this movement. And it's like, oh, yeah, I don't think I want to eat that. So we switched it all over to My Patriot Supply. Just really good food. It's delicious. It's edible. It's not going to be filled with grub worms or boll weevils, which is really a good thing. For my money. I'm a little picky that way. I don't like boll weevils in my bowl. So I strongly recommend My Patriot Supply. It's what I used, and you should too. They are the go-to experts for emergency preparedness. My Patriot Supply, their mission is your survival. And right now, you can get a 4-week supply of their nutritious meals that supply 2,000 calories a day, shipped fast and discreetly to your door. It's exactly what you need for when food starts to disappear from the grocery store shelves again. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com. Get ready right now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Yeah. By the way, he'll be back with us tomorrow. More on trivia. Features who tomorrow? Who are we?
It's going to be the Miami Dolphins at the Arizona Cardinals.
Looking forward.
Two teams that are having surprisingly good seasons.
Yeah.
Surprising for some. Some of us may have money on both of those teams to win the Super Bowl.
So President Trump tweeted out something interesting. A parade for him yesterday in Nigeria.
Yeah, a couple days ago, yeah.
Here's a look at it.
Look at that! Oh,
that is a big crowd, too.
But we're hated around the world, from what I understand, because of Trump.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Yeah, he's pissed off our friends, made our enemies even angrier at us.
And that's Nigeria, huh?
Yeah.
Unless the left is just saying that it doesn't matter what Africans think about us? Is that what they're implying?
Yeah.
Oh, look at those Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl champion shirts. No, I'm just kidding. I love that. Look at that. I mean, that's a long stretch.
Yeah. That's a lot of people. Weird.
Trump 2020.
That's great. That's great,
so
though.
Good.
Jeez.
Fun stuff.
Also, an anonymous British banker just placed not just, before the election, placed somewhat of a significant amount of money on Donald Trump to win. $5 million. $5 million.
So placed a bet of $5 million?
Yeah, on Trump to win. Imagine how much he's rooting for Arizona to come through right now.
He's probably flying to Arizona to be a part of the counting and stuff there.
Wow.
Oh, no. Wow.
They think it is the biggest ever made, the biggest bet ever made on politics. Wow. That's really saying something because, I mean, hopefully you've got the money to spare if you're betting $5 million. Hopefully that's not your entire nest egg.
Are you standing at the window at the casino? All right, so put $2,000 on this credit card. Hang on. I got another one.
And then wait a minute. I brought a jar where I keep some loose change. Let's see how much is in there. They're $38.50 in that.
There you go. Here, let's see how much we got. Have I got enough here?
Not quite.
No,
we're not there yet.
Oh, well, hold on. The credit limit on this Visa, I think might be. You can put $1,000 on this. You take the Diners Club card here. No, but this guy, I think he wins $15 million if Trump ends up being declared the winner.
Yes, which would be nice. That'd be great. Also, the virus still out there so far until Biden is officially declared the winner. Hopefully that won't ever happen. But if he's going to be declared the winner, I think a lot of the COVID panic goes away. It'll be interesting to see, won't it?
No.
Won't it be interesting to see?
I can't take it.
It would be fascinating if all of a sudden it switches from we've got 86,000 people a day on average being infected to wow, it's a much less virulent strain now. Hardly anybody's dying. Yeah, we do have some hospitalizations, but it's nothing we can't handle. And the death rate is really, really low now. Watch and see if that doesn't happen.
Wait, I don't want to see this happen. Because I don't want
either.
Biden to be declared the winner.
For sure.
Stop.
The WHO has allowed China to investigate the spread of COVID-19. Now, how Peter Townsend and Roger Daltrey are allowed to decide who gets to investigate COVID and who doesn't, I don't understand it. Is that really their area of expertise? I mean, they play music. They play rock music. And not all that well, in my estimation. I'm not a big Who fan.
Right.
Do you like the Who?
I mean, they have a couple songs here and there, but I don't own anything by them.
But 9 months after the beginning of the global coronavirus pandemic, there's no public independent investigation into the origins of the virus that came out of China. In an investigation published by the New York Times, the newspaper concludes that the Chinese government has failed to cooperate in any way with the World Health Organization. Oh, that's who they mean. That's the Who they're talking about, not the rock band.
It's not my place to correct you. Your name is on the show. I was just going to let it go.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That was very considerate, Keith.
But,
Except I kind of look silly thinking it was the Who rock band.
I didn't think anybody was going to pick up on it, so I was just going to let it go.
The article calls the work of the Who over the last months both indispensable and impotent. Okay. The United Nations affiliated group had led a significant effort to disseminate information about testing, treatments, and possible vaccines. However, the WHO has failed to slow down the global travel patterns at the pandemic's outset. And another performance factor that even champions of the WHO are being forced to consider is the group's willingness to bend at the knee to China and let them investigate their own situation. What are they going to say about it? They're going to say that we caused it. That's what they're going to say. They're going to track it back to the United States, and somehow it's our fault.
So the story is that the WHO is telling China, go ahead and investigate?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, but China's already concluded, like you just said,
it's our fault.
It's from us.
Right. So expect more of that. Expect more of the same. I tell you, it just gets more and more unbelievable every day. It really is.
You keep using the word.
Yeah.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
So the WHO is going to investigate?
Yeah, the WHO.
That's what I'm asking. The WHO is going to investigate this virus stuff?
Yeah. Yes. Well, no, they're turning it over to China to investigate. The WHO is saying, you go ahead and investigate it, China. We'll use your report. Huh. Okay.
But I thought WHO was on first.
And I thought they weren't going to get fooled again, but they're being fooled
look
again.
at that.
See what I did there?
Just when you think he doesn't
brought
care.
it right back to the WHO band.
The Who band?
The Who band? The what?
No, the Who.
When?
No,
Where?
The Who. Not the what band.
All right. Here's another thing to make you think that maybe everything's not exactly perfect as far as this count is going on. Eric Trump posted something yesterday about these ballots being... Are these the ones that are thrown away or the ones that were burned? We got a couple of those videos, but here's the Eric Trump video that he posted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was quick.
That was quick, yeah.
We
no.
got a yeah.
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 Uh-oh.
Oh, Trump. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Shut up.
Trump.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Trump.
Yeah.
Got around 80.
So where did he get these ballots?
I don't know.
You wonder. And are they actual ballots?
Right. Now there's some speculation that these are just
sample
ballots. They don't have like the little grid on the side that you would put in the machine.
Jeez. I hope those are just sample
I
ballots.
think it might be a guy just looking for attention. It'd be
very possible, because where would he have gotten them?
Well,
I don't know.
Wait, are you for real?
Maybe he's a poll worker.
Okay, maybe he works for the Postal. No. So Twitter pulled it down, so obviously it's fake, because Twitter would never pull down anything legit.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
Right, because Twitter, they're always looking out for the truth.
Always.
And by them pulling that down makes you think that it actually is ballots. So I don't know. But Eric Trump tweeted that out yesterday. It was getting quite a bit of play on the interwebs.
So what do you believe?
What do you believe? I don't know.
It's
Sharpies burning ballots. We got one guy arguing with ballots and crumpling up and throwing them on the floor in Georgia. I mean, there's just
what do you believe?
Just a few. You got, but at the same time, you do have 170-year-old men voting for the first time.
Who cares so much that they're getting out to the ballot box themselves at 170
in their jammies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wanted to be comfortable.
I mean, I
don't blame him.
Oh yeah.
At 170, I think we allow you some.
We owe you comfort when you're voting.
Eccentricities like going to the poll in your jammies. Yeah. It's okay. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah. I mean, that I voted sticker. I mean, that's like a collector's item. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like getting a T-shirt when you run a race. And that 170-year-old guy wasn't going to be denied his "I just voted" sticker.
And let's not forget the commitment of like Milwaukee's 274th ward, where they had only 640 registered voters, but 1,290 people went to the ballot box. That is a 202% turnout. That is admirable. Voting Ward 273, a very similar situation. 634 registered voters. 1,272 went out to vote. That's a 201% turnout.
But how many? Maybe this isn't the point you're trying to make. But I'm kind of hung up on the fact that you said Ward 274.
Yeah.
How many wards are in Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
A lot, because I've got them all the way down to 326. So they've got a lot of wards.
Wow.
I mean, in Houston, it was what? How many? You lived in the 3rd ward.
I did. I know there were at least 5 wards in Houston. I lived in the 3rd ward.
Mm-hmm.
But that's an impressive number.
Maybe they've got really tiny wards. In Ward 272, 1,123 registered voters and 1,405 actual voters for 125% turnout. That's pretty good, too.
Yeah. How many wards do you think they have up in Nome, Alaska, where they're brewing some fraud right now as we speak?
Oh, hundreds. I think they've got hundreds of wards. Because it's all those angry progressives up there. Which is why Fox News can't call the election in Alaska yet.
Nome, Alaska, man.
Nome, still to come in.
3,866 people live there. and they divide that city just
they sliced it up into hundreds and hundreds of wards.
2 people to each ward.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow for more on trivia.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.